from Knit Collage. For those of you that don't know me, I own and run a small business called Knit Collage, where we specialize in hand spun yarns, knitting patterns, and we host knit-alongs twice a year, which are really like our version of Super Bowl. But this video is just gonna be what I have made since the last time I checked in. I think it was around 2 months ago, maybe a little bit longer. And I have been making a lot of things. Maybe more excitingly, I've acquired some new yarn that I want to show you. I really want to show you because I haven't been this excited about new yarn in a long time. And a few new designs that are on the horizon. So I thought it'd be fun to go through all of those things with you today. So before I begin, I want to talk about these earrings. You're probably wondering what the heck is going on with these insanely gorgeous, gigantic earrings. I love them. I'm obsessed. These were a Christmas present or a holiday present to me from Laurel, who designs a lot of the patterns you see here at Knit Collage. And they are by Liz Hill Weicker. I think I'm saying her name right. That's what she is on Instagram too, if you want to look her up. She is a 3D print designer. So these are 3D printed at the base, and then she embroiders on top of them. Isn't that mind-blowing? It's incredible. And she's also a knitter. So I just got to give her a big shout out. I love these. I love big earrings. I love yarn earrings because I feel like they show a little bit of my personality through, I'm able to show a little piece of my own personality through my jewelry, which is fun. And I also love how yarn earrings are so lightweight. I've always been a big earring person, and these are very lightweight, so I don't have that fear of the old lady earlobe thing. I don't know if it's an old lady thing, but you know what I mean, like the stretched out earlobe. So I absolutely love these in these really pretty colors. So those are my new earring acquisition, and even though I have nowhere to go in the midst of the pandemic, it is fun to get dressed up in the morning and put on some really fun earrings. I have to say that has improved my quality of life, that small thing. All right, so I want to show you, first I'll show you the thing that we will be releasing very, very soon. This is the Durango Sweater pattern. So I want to show this to you guys. This was one of the designs that was in the running for our fall knit along. We are finally releasing it, and I'll make sure to add the exact date we're releasing it in the comments below. I'm not sure quite yet, so if you're interested in the exact release date, I'll list it below. It's going to be when we have yarn in stock, so we're waiting for some yarn to come back in stock, but I absolutely love the mixed stitches that are used in this sweater. So we have a mixed stitch yoke, we've got a chevron sleeve, and I believe we use 2 different colors of spun cloud and a midi skein sampler kit. It's a short fit, it's knit top down. The construction is a little more complicated than some other sweaters in our pattern repertoire. So I think we're saying this is for an intermediate knitter, and it is top down, which means you can customize body length if this somewhat cropped length isn't for you. But I absolutely love this. Some of my favorite photos from the last photo shoot we did. You can see these are my colors. They go with this, the earrings so well. So I absolutely love this. I hope some people will give it a try. I love when sweaters look pieced together and the sleeves don't always match the body, the back doesn't always match the front. And to me, that's what this is, and gives you a great opportunity to explore color, make it your own. It's one of those sweaters where you can really make it your own too. So I'm super, super excited about the Durango sweater coming to you soon. And why Durango? Well, I think a lot of sweaters going forward, and patterns in general, may be named after places we want to travel post-coronavirus. Can anyone else relate to that? That's the thing I think I am missing the most. So I'm naming sweaters right now after a lot of places. All right, so I want to talk about one sweater I knit. I'm going to insert a couple pictures here. This was from my best friend Courtney for her birthday, which was December 10th of this year. And I knit the Love Note sweater. I think I mentioned it before. She requested this sweater. She's very sophisticated, so I was surprised she went with pink, but she did go with pink. And these are the two yarns that I ended up holding together. So this one is a yarn by Hedgehog Fibers. It's a skinny single. The color is Film Noir. And I got this at Argyle Yarn Shop in New York City. Actually, it was at Vogue Knitting Live in January 2020. And I used 2 skeins of that. And then I used 2 skeins of the mohair, which is Cake Wool Co. cream yarn, which is a kid mohair with silk. And I used 2 skeins, and the color is Peach Sugar. So I really love that one. There's a lot of different colors going on in there, and it came out really pretty. I was most worried about fit, not being able to see her in person and try it on her, so I was really just going by her bust size, and it fit and it looked so great. It was hard to part with, but it was so awesome to see how excited she was about the sweater. So I hope she wears it. And I don't know, there's nothing like giving away a sweater that you knit yourself. It really is the best feeling. So I loved it. I enjoyed it. Highly recommend the pattern. It was easy to knit. I'm not great at lace, so it's just the right amount of lace to not kind of drive me insane. I think it's only 10 or 20 rounds, at least for the size I knit, of the lace. So it wasn't that bad. So I want to show you the other things I have knit since then. These are all fall knit along pieces because we just wrapped up our fall knit along, which was a complete blast. And this is the first one. So this is a Kaleidoscope sweater. I've shown a bunch of these here on YouTube, and I'm not sure what number this is. I haven't really been keeping track, but it's gotta be 7 or 8 or 9, I'm not sure. And it is long sleeve. I wanted it to kind of have a pastel feel, and I love it. I've been wearing it a lot. Really a fun one. I did end up using my stash, so I didn't use a complete kit for this. I used my stash. I needle felted ends, which is my favorite way to deal with lots of ends. The base color is our Spun Cloud Fog, so you can kind of see that the base gray is fog. I used breezy blue in there, right here, and lots of pinks, ivories, ochres, and blue, light blue. So I really love the way this one came out. I feel like each one is a different kind of experiment in color and texture, and that's my favorite part about this pattern. So we saw a lot this fall knit along that had just color around the yoke or color blocking throughout the sleeves and body, and they were totally different than the one I made where the colors are completely all mixed up. So it was incredible to see the creativity, the different designs that came out of this past knit along. We will be having a celebration video where we will show a lot of these, so I'm really excited. They came out incredibly well. Okay, so the next one is my Plaidtastic Scarf. I love the way this one came out. This did not take long. I almost gifted it for Christmas, but I liked it too much. It's really all about those tassels. Yeah, I love it. It's breezy blue and a mauve sampler kit. So all of these knit along patterns, you might be wondering, if you didn't join in our knit along, when are those going to be available? Most likely they will be available in April, so mid-April. And that is because we keep the knit along patterns exclusive to that group for about 6 months. The only one I'm considering not releasing is the Kaleidoscope, because it is a fantastic beginner sweater pattern, and we're considering having that be a permanent fixture in the knit along, because we see a lot of people come into our knit alongs and actually they've never knit a sweater before. They're fairly new at knitting, and they come in and they completely blow my mind and knit this incredible Kaleidoscope sweater. So one thing I'm thinking about a lot is that I always want our knit-alongs to be super beginner friendly. I want to help people feel supported so that they can take those skills from maybe, just knitting a knit and purl stitch to knitting a complete sweater. And that pattern is so ideal for people in those skill sets. So, okay, so I did that. The next one is my Plaid Cardi, which came out very well, I have to say. And this one is tricky because it is it's a slip stitch pattern. There was one tricky part around the shoulders where you really have to read your stitches that got a lot of people tripped up, but I just love the way it came out. So I could have buttoned this, but I did not, but you can see here the stitches. I can throw it on for you. I knit a size 3. I wish I had knit a size 2 or a size 1, so it's a bit big on me, but I love it. So this is sort of what it looks like. Doesn't work that well with my shirt underneath. I think my favorite part is the sleeve. The sleeve is super fitted. It almost looks like a puff, like a Chanel puff jacket. And I love the way the colors came together. Yeah, I really, really like it. So I used High Vibe Spun Cloud, which is our yarn. And then the mini kit I used is Bouquet. And if I could do it all again, I'd probably knit it in a smaller size, but I love it. And maybe I'll gift it. I don't know. It took me a long time to knit, so I'm not sure if I'll do that. But this is what the stitches look like on the back side. So very neutral, very peaceful, not so in your face, this one, but do love the way it turned out. And the next one is the Flower Power Cardi. So this was one of the ones I was so worried during the knit along that we'd get a lot of complaints because intarsia is intense in terms of yarn prep into different balls and tangling. Your yarn gets tangled as you knit intarsia. And I couldn't believe it. We didn't get any complaints. People were okay with it. And I think part of that was because the result is so fantastic. So this is my Flower Power Cardi. It's big too, but hopefully you can get an idea. And then this is the flower that's on the body. Oh my gosh, and I haven't woven in yet. How embarrassing. Apologies for that. I did not put buttons on here. I really love the way it turned out. I love the honeysuckle color that I chose. So this is Flower Power, and I used honeysuckle spun cloud here, lavender dust here, and then I used a Bouquet mini skein sampler kit for basically everything else, the flower center, the outline of the flower. So that is the Flower Power cardigan. I am about to knit myself another Flower Power cardigan, so I really want to show you what I have chosen. Here is my main color. This is going to be a gift. So this is going to be my main color. This is our sister yarn in Dusty Pink. I love this so much. This is going to be my flower color, Soft Ivory, and then the rest I'm planning to use just stash. So I was thinking like this could be the center of my flower, and then the outline colors be something like this, which gosh, it looks like my outfit. I should probably take some more color risks as I show you everything that looks the same. But I'm really excited to knit that again. I'm gonna knit it for my yoga teacher and have just decided to do yoga teacher training in 2021. So I'm really excited to become closer as I learn from her and knit her a sweater. She is incredible and she likes pink too. So very excited about that. There's a couple other patterns I have to show you that we just released that I also knit. And then I'm gonna dive into my stash. So this is one that just came out, and this is called the, what did I name it? I think I named it the Rive Gauche scarf pattern. And this is kind of named that because of Paris, and I love Paris and I wanna go back there. But it's a really fun one to do an experiment with our mini skein sampler kits or with any stash yarn. So you can knit this. It's a simple cable lace stitch, very, very, very basic. You could knit this with stash, or you could knit it with 2 of our mini skein kits and do wide stripes like what I did. So I just did finish one mini skein and then you knit another, which comes out to be, I think, 15 or 16 rows. But you could absolutely do anything there. And it's a quick knit, it's easy. I think it's a great one to experiment with color and yarn and texture. Yeah, I just really like that one. Very simple. And I think the only other thing to show you is this Exhale sweater that we released a couple weeks ago. So I also knit this one. There are more colors and sizes shown on my website, but this is the Exhale sweater. And it is another one that is fun, pretty. I did a bell sleeve, which I know isn't for everybody, but I love the bell sleeve. This one, really cozy, super easy to knit, simple color work, has a sleeve option that is not a bell sleeve if you just wanted to do a simple straight sleeve with a rib cuff. And it is top down, so if you wanted to make it longer, you absolutely could, but I really love the way this one came out. This is our mint spun cloud and then cornflower wildflower yarn, if you're wondering about any of the yarns we used. Okay, so I'm gonna go through some of my stash here that I have, some of my yarn acquisitions, because you know, I really needed more yarn in the past 2 months. Really, that was exactly what I needed. So I'm gonna show you the yarn that took my breath away when I received it. And I'm sort of sad that I wound it up, because when it was in skein form, it looked even more luscious, but this is it, and it's by Elizabeth Pawle. So she is a embroiderer. She's an artist out of the UK, and this is hand-dyed silk mohair, and it is, every stitch is coming out to be a different color. It's unbelievable. So I'm thinking of knitting the Aura sweater, which is by someone on Ravelry named Gingko Be. I am swatching this in the round, so that's why you see all those strands. This is what I plan to do. Since I only have one skein of it, I'm going to mix it with a pale pink and switch every 4 rows with these 2 colors. So I'm really excited about this, and you can see how the yarn really is like every stitch is a different color. So I'm just thinking this is going to be so cheerful for me to knit as I, as we are in a long winter here in Boston. So the other yarns I got from Elizabeth, because I couldn't buy just one, was this sock yarn, which kind of goes with that one really well. Maybe this just needs to be a pair of socks, because look at that. And that would look pretty awesome with some metallic Birkenstocks, I think. It's fantastic. Yeah, high twist sock. She calls it marshmallow. I don't know if these are still available on her site, because there was just one available at the time. And then this is the other one. It's a bulky weight yarn. I mean, isn't that incredible? Super chunky. It's a super wash merino. So it's kind of crazy to think about putting that in your washing machine, but how fantastic is that? This makes me want to dye yarn. I've never really wanted to dye my own yarn before, and this yarn, it just takes my breath away. It's unbelievable. Okay, so I got those. I wanted to show you this hand spun I just got off Etsy. I'm gonna link to her name in the show notes. I believe it's Loom Denim on Etsy, and this is the hand spun. I love it. It's kind of the opposite of what I just showed you. It's a very rustic feeling, but it does have some sparkle. It's got a fringe feeling. I mean, kind of like a dreadlock feeling to it. It's just so cool. So I'm excited about this. The other yarn I got, which it's a little more green than I thought, but how fantastic is this insane yarn? This was a late night Instagram purchase, which I'm very glad I made. And this is by Kindred Red. Alpaca Silken Haze, and the color is Sulphur Springs Eternal. And I've been wanting to buy yarn from Kindred Red for a long time because the way she does color is just insane. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it yet. I'm still up in the air, so let me know if you have ideas. The only other thing I wanna show you, which is on my mind, I'm hoping to finish this before March, is this yarn from Quince & Co. I think it's Quince & Co. Sparrow. No, Lark Heather. This is for my Noragon Nightingale sweater. I have had the yarn for almost a year, so I'm saying it here. I'm going to cast on and knit this sweater. I have to do it. I own 12 skeins, so it's happening. So that's everything. If you have any questions, let me know. That's what's on tap for me with all my making, my flower power, I think it is called an Aura sweater in mohair, and hopefully this Nightingale sweater by Noragon, which will be a challenge. So awesome to see you guys. Thank you so much. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, if anything resonates with you, anything you want to hear more about. I'd love to hear from you. All right, bye-bye.